Greetings, everyone. I am going to speak candidly in this video. Okay. What I'm looking at, or what you're looking at, is, this cover art. And I like it for this reason. It seems that there is this stairway in the middle of the cloud, and you could say it's stairway to heaven. And many of us are walking on these stairwells heading to heaven, and as they would say, you're heaven bound and no earthly good. You're so busy buying into this ideology that was given to you by people who don't even like you as an individual. You're busy listening to the stories coming from other person's experiences without trying to learn or understand your own experiences. Now, what we're going to talk about here is letting go of baggages, and sometimes these baggages come in the form of people. You have people in your life that you may love or you may like, and these ones have done nothing but destroy your peace, destroy your sanity. You tell yourself on the stairway up to heaven that you've got to subject yourself to these ones and allow them to abuse you for year after year, for decades, always trying to be the better one and the bigger one, trying to work your way into heaven. And I am personally saying that you cannot work yourself to heaven. You cannot, because none of us are perfect. If you were to look at some of the scriptures or the spiritual text and hear what they're asking us to do as human beings, is not possible. And so when you're bombarding yourself with these ideas and this ideology from people who don't even live that, people who don't believe that themselves, people give you these texts and they tell you this is how you're supposed to live, this is how your life is marked out based on somebody else's experience. And if you look at some of these texts, they're hundreds and thousands of years old, and the people then were not able to live that way. That's why we still have what is called sin in the world. You cannot save the whole world, and you can't save not even yourself. If you look at it in those contexts of religious context, how you're going to save yourself is to be true to yourself, to be kind to yourself, to be loving towards yourself, to know that it's okay to let go the baggage. If you're on a ship, throw that weight overboard. If you're in a relationship and people are only sapping your energy and breaking your heart over and over again, it's okay to let it go, to walk away and promote peace in your own life. It's okay. Tell yourself it's okay. We carry this heavy burden, and these burdens we carry, they're unnecessary. There are some people in the world who are incapable of loving you. They're incapable of even loving themselves. And as you demand this love from them, they're not able to give it to you. They can't love anybody else but themselves. The only thing they can see is their nose, their own nose, because they're always looking down on themselves. And when you find people like this in the world that only love themselves and they're incapable of loving you, you need to stop crying about it. You need to let it go. It's okay to let it go. We're human beings. We make mistakes. We don't come short, some would say, of the glory of God, or we do come short of the glory of God, whichever way you want to look at it. But personally, over the years, I don't live my life anymore to try to impress anybody, to try to show persons that my love is bigger than anyone else's. Because until I learn to truly love myself, I cannot love you. And until the other person truly learn how to love themselves, they can't love you either. Please also understand this, that energies attach themselves to people. Certain energies that you can't see with your physical eyes attach themselves to people, but they only attach themselves to people because there's an opening. These energies, these spirits, these dark forces cannot attach themselves to you unless you are a good host, until you're inviting them. And so you find that, okay, you are getting along with somebody, everything seems to be going well, and all of a sudden the person start acting weird, and there's distance between you, and you've done nothing. You have not done anything to these ones, and you just can't figure it out, and you're wasting your time trying to figure it out. Stop trying to figure out other people and figure out yourself. Because as I've said in previous videos, sometimes that relationship ends. It's time for it to be over. Some of these relationships are not worth salvaging. And that doesn't just end with your friend or with a partner. Sometimes with family, sometimes with loved ones, sometimes with children, sometimes mother, and daughter relationship comes to an impasse. And the child feels that they have to separate from the mother, and the mother feels the same way. Sometimes it's better for you to let it go. You didn't grow up with your mother, and you were raised by someone else, and you are trying to make something that is not there. There's that maternal bond, or that, daughter mom relationship, or father son, or father, a son and mother relationship was not there from the very beginning. And too many bad blood and too much dirty water under the bridge, it cannot be salvaged. All you're doing is more harm to yourself. You're hurting yourself and the other person. Because sometimes when you disappear out of people's lives, or when they disappear out of yours, it takes them a while to heal. And when they start feeling better, you turn up. You turn up and you give them hope that this is going to work out, or they give you hope that this is going to work out, and you come back to the same place. Sometimes you just have to cut those cords, cut them belly string, cut those cords. And people will say, well, you're supposed to forever love and be available to whomever you love, or whomever claim that they love you. But sometimes you just have to go your ways, your separate ways, people. Don't allow people to break your spirit. Don't allow people to break your peace. Don't let people use you, because sometimes some of these ones, they go in and out of your life just to use you, or the energy that is attached to them come to destroy you. And because you are, this person was kind or loving or patient or forgiving, these energies that attach themselves to other people to come and provoke you, especially when you bring promise, especially when you're someone who, these entities realize are being used to do good, they will come to throw you off, and they'll attach themselves to people you are vulnerable to. And I'm hoping I'm speaking to someone right now, because this message is very important. You feel, why did I let myself, become vulnerable to this person again? Why did I allow myself to be open to this? I always know how this is going to end, and I still subject myself to it. Can't blame the other person. At this point, you blame yourself. Do you understand? We are not really fighting, as the scripture says, about principality and power in high places. We're not really fighting against the physical, but more the spiritual. And if you're not prepared, especially in this time, if you're not prepared spiritually, you're going to be broken physically. If you're not prepared spiritually, you're going to be broken physically. And it's not going to be the one out there, and it's not going to be your enemy. It's going to be the ones closest to you, people. The ones who are closest to you, the ones who you open your doors to. You have to sometimes let these people go. And if you don't let them go, you have to let them know that you are prepared to let them go, and not allow them to break you and separate you from your peace, from your abundance, from your joy, from your wealth. There are some people in your life, your family, your friends, they're just wicked. And they have allowed the devil to use them. And they are willing to be the devil's advocate. They will come into your life and destroy it with their bad karma. They opened up themselves and walked down some pathways and allowed the devil to take hold of them. And when we say the devil to take hold of them, we're talking about not just some invisible being, but the things that they do and the things that they open themselves up to. And in their misery and their torment, they want to let that off of you. Don't be afraid to tell people the truth, and don't be afraid to not let someone come to you with their, pompous attitude and looking down on you like you are somebody that is worse than them and that they're more superior to you. Get rid of those ones. Get them out of your way. Tell them the truth. Sometimes you don't have to ask these ones to go away when they come with their piousness and their over righteousness. Just run them away. Just curse them. And when I say curse them, we're not talking about bad words. I'm just saying give them the words, give them the truth, and they'll disappear. Whenever anybody try to bully you into believing anything that is not of your own understanding or your own experience, you tell them the truth. You tell them to take their piousness and their self-righteousness and take it to the far corners of the earth. Don't let people do this to you. We don't need people coming with their condemnation and their over righteousness. And when you look at their own life, it's shitty, it's filthy. It's like those people who were fat all their life and they finally figure out of beast, beat the beast. And they lost weight, and all of a sudden your ears cannot eat grass because they constantly, this fat spirit that they had and lived with all along, they finally, find a way to beat it. And now they're coming to put it on you. Someone always said, I don't want kids, because secretly they couldn't have kids. And then they find out how to go do fertility treatment, and they finally conceive, and your ears cannot eat grass. They said they wanted no man. When you were in a relationship, they made you feel like you were stupid for having a man. And now that they found somebody who oftentimes is not even right for them, they constantly talk to you about this perfect person, this wonderful person. They beat you on your head, on your back, and make you think something is wrong with you. These ones are always the ones who come back and always, rubbing it in, trying to make you feel bad about yourself. Trying to make you think that, something is wrong with you if you don't do it this way, or if you don't do it that way, or if you don't understand it. Even what I'm saying to you, if it is opposing what you think or believe, don't let me brainwash you or tell you what to think. At the end of the day, the stairs you're climbing up is not to go up into some invisible place in the sky, to go live forever. It is to come to your true understanding, to go inside of you and learn and ask to be taught the things that are not readily available for you to learn or for you to see. We're talking about spiritual warfare here. We're talking about our families, coming through some of the worst period in history at this time. And it's not time for families to be separated from each other and to find themselves going through war path. It's not. But if it comes to that, where you have to let people go, let them go. Let them go, and try to say to yourself, I need to be at peace right now so I can have a level head to deal with all the things that we got to deal with in this world at this time. Because the thing is frightening. If you see it unfolding, just a glimpse of it, it can be very frightening. And so you need to have your wherewithal about you. You have to be able to say, you know what, I have to maintain my peace, and I'm not going to let anyone destroy my peace. And when people bring their nonsense to you, just tell them the truth. And if they go away, they were never meant to be close to you. Hear me. You don't have to agree with me. But if this message resonates with you, then I say take heed. Stay blessed, everyone.